So you don't have time to write a novel. I don't believe you. I would like to direct your attention to this graph. I'm not gonna point because I don't know if it's gonna be like there or there or there or my face isn't here at all and it's everywhere. I should not have done NaNoWriMo last year. I don't remember what I was trying to do with my life, but as you can see, I struggled real hard. I almost didn't do it. I almost didn't win. We like to make excuses. We have school, we have work, we have Netflix, we have insert anything that you would rather be doing right now than writing. You're already not writing because you're watching this, but I mean, you get it. I've said plenty of times before, I don't have time to do this. I've used it as an excuse for a lot of projects that I wanted to start in the last couple of years and didn't. Because I don't have time is, for some reason, one of the most acceptable excuses now. People like to be busy, and when you say to someone, oh, I don't have time to do that right now, I'm busy doing this, they just accept it and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I get it. We like to give off the impression that we're a lot busier than we actually are. And I'm not saying that if you're legitimately busy that you're not doing worthwhile work, because it's not true. I mean, there are busy times, and there are times when you are so busy during the day, for example, that when it's nighttime and you're home, you may not be busy then, but the last thing you want to do is sit down and like write a book. I think the key to success is doing it anyway, figuring out how you can make it work. Yeah, you're totally busy during the day, and by the time you get home, writing is not going to happen. So what's so wrong with getting up a little bit earlier to get your writing done before you go to work and do the brain things and come home and you can't get yourself to write at night? Can you write a little bit during your lunch break? Can you save all your writing for weekends and spend all your weekends writing then? It's not that you can't, it's that often you're not willing to figure out how. A lot of people want to write a book. That's a quote from a song about NaNoWriMo that I love. But seriously, a lot of people want to write books and they never do. Why is that? Because we're not willing to make it work. We want it to be easier. We want more hours in the day. We want all these things to be different that aren't going to change. What needs to change isn't necessarily our level of busyness. You don't need to quit all your side hustles so that you have time to write a book. It's a matter of scheduling out your days, doing different things on different days to make it work depending on what you have going on. Knowing in advance when you're going to sit down and write something. That is the one thing that has helped me through the past 9 NaNoWriMos and is working for this one as well. I know that between 4:30 and 5, I am going to start writing. And no matter how long it takes to get the 2,000 or 3,000 words that I have scheduled to write that day, I know waking up that morning that at that time, that day, that's what's gonna happen. And so when it's 4:30 or 4:45 or 5, I'm writing because I expected that to happen. Can that happen every day for you? Maybe not. But routine doesn't have to mean it's the same thing every day. It could be the same thing every Tuesday and Thursday. It could be the same thing every other Wednesday. It doesn't matter as long as you know that it's happening. Because if you tell yourself, oh, I want to write sometime today, it's going to get later and later and later. And before you know it, it's 9 o'clock and you're like, oh no, I'm not going to write today. You have to plan. When it comes to writing fiction, I don't like planning. I don't outline my books. I don't want to know everything that happens. But when it comes to actually getting the writing done, I plan everything. I know exactly, at least roughly, when I'm going to get it done, and it always gets done. Things come up. Stuff happens and you can't follow the same schedule that you wanted to. That's okay. Try again tomorrow. People don't do it one day and they get so discouraged that they just stop. Just because you're off one day doesn't mean that today can't be better. Don't just quit. Keep trying. Make it work. You might have to try something 10 different ways before you finally find a way that works for you. Keep trying. Persistence is that word that nobody really likes because people want to just automatically have it. And you don't automatically just have it. You have to build it up. You're not born with it. I really don't think you are. I think it's something you have to develop. Writing is a skill. You don't come into writing knowing how to do it, knowing how it's going to work for you, how you're going to make it happen. You have to figure it out. You have time to write this book. You don't think you do. But if you plan a little bit, if you maybe give up a little of your Netflix time, if you maybe get up a little bit earlier or stay up a little bit later or do whatever it is you have to do to make it happen, you can make it happen. Don't let time be your excuse. I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think you're too hard on yourself. I think you're listening too closely to that voice that keeps saying you don't have time for this because it's hard. Of course it's hard, but that's why it's worth it.